So let's talk about artificial intelligence in our classrooms. It's not just another new gadget or app. People are calling it a full-blown revolution, something that could completely change the way we teach and the way we learn. But, like with any powerful new tool, with all that incredible promise, comes some really serious challenges. It's a double-edged sword, for sure. So the question is, how do we use it without getting cut? Let's get into it.
All right, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at the amazing promise of AI for teachers. Then, we've got to face the music and talk about the hidden challenges it brings up. After that, we'll explore a path forward that keeps humans in charge. And finally, we'll zoom all the way out and ask what this all means for the very future of learning itself.
Okay, let's start with the good stuff, the promise. For any teacher out there, you know the deal. You're overworked, you're stretched thin. Well, AI is showing up like the ultimate classroom assistant, ready to do a lot of that heavy lifting. And you know, this isn't just a theory. This quote from a university instructor on Reddit, it just says it all. You can feel the sheer exhaustion in their words, especially that last part, "Don't judge me." This isn't about being lazy, it's about trying to survive when you just don't have enough hours in the day. And just look at how fast this can work. Using a simple framework like this one, a teacher can go from zero to a solid draft of a lesson plan in minutes. You start with the core concepts, then bam, you're brainstorming activities, figuring out assessments, even thinking about how to integrate tech. Now, it's not a finished product, but wow, what a powerful head start that a real teacher can then shape with their own expertise. And we're talking about way more than just lesson plans here. This is like a whole new teaching toolkit. The AI can be your creative sidekick, whipping up discussion prompts or fun games. It can be an architect, building an entire course from a single textbook. It can even be a virtual co-tutor, answering all those routine questions so the teacher can focus on, actually teaching. Okay, so that's the good news. But of course, it is not all sunshine and perfectly generated lesson plans. We have to flip the coin over now and look at the very real, very serious dangers that are lurking inside this machine. And this gets us to the million-dollar question, right? The one that's probably keeping a lot of educators up at night. If AI is this good at creating stuff for teachers, what happens when students start using it for the assignments that are supposed to prove what they actually know? Well, a wild study from 2024 actually put this to the test. Researchers took exam answers written entirely by AI and secretly mixed them in with real student submissions at a university. The results? A jaw-dropping 94% of the AI papers were not caught. They went completely undetected. And get this, the AI submissions actually scored higher on average than the human students. So why is this happening? Well, we have to remember what these AI models really are. They aren't thinking machines, they're incredibly sophisticated prediction machines. They can literally make up facts, what people call hallucinating. They can reflect all the ugly biases from the data they were trained on, and critically, they have zero real-world understanding of the words they're spitting out. And this creates this massive gap between the official policy and the day-to-day reality. On one hand, you have government reports with these lofty goals about harnessing the good while protecting against the dangers. But then you talk to teachers on the ground and you hear from people who just feel, in their own words, so exhausted and totally burned out by this new reality. Educator Leon Furs just nails it with this quote. AI is a pattern matcher. It's a probability engine. It does not have genuine understanding, and it absolutely cannot make qualitative judgments. And that's why it's just not the right tool for the job when it comes to the nuanced, high-stakes work of assessing a student's real learning. It just can't replace human insight. So if we can't completely trust it, and we probably can't ban it, where does that leave us? Well, the answer seems to be finding a smart way forward, one that makes sure a human is always in the driver's seat. So what does that actually look like? Washington State's Education Office came up with this really simple but brilliant framework. They call it HAIH. It stands for Human Inquiry, then AI Production, then it ends with Human Reflection. HAIH. See? The AI is the powerful engine in the middle, but a human starts the process, and a human is the one who makes sense of it all at the end. Let's break this down. This chart makes the different roles super clear. AI is amazing at things like consistency and speed, things humans actually struggle with when they get tired. But when it comes to nuance, understanding emotion, creativity, or dealing with sensitive topics, the human is absolutely irreplaceable. So the future isn't AI taking over as the grader, it's AI as an assistant, where human oversight is the most important part of the process. And this isn't just a nice idea anymore. It's being written into official ethical guidelines by groups like UNESCO. The consensus is pretty clear. If you're going to use AI in a school, it has to be transparent, it has to protect student data, you have to check it for bias, and most importantly, a human must always have the final say and the power to override whatever the machine decides. All right, let's pull the camera back now, because what's happening in our classrooms, it's really just a small-scale version of a massive transformation that's happening across all of society. The choices we have to make with AI, we've kind of been here before. It's like past technological revolutions. We can use this tool for incredible, sustainable growth that helps everyone, or we can let it become something that just makes the gaps between people wider, leaving some folks behind. The path we take is really up to us. And make no mistake, the stakes are global. We're not just talking about English essays here. The UN sees AI as a potentially critical tool for tackling the biggest problems humanity faces, everything from poverty to climate change. The rules we're figuring out for the classroom, things like fairness and human oversight, are the exact same principles we're going to need to manage AI on a worldwide scale. And that really brings us to the heart of it all. It's so easy to get fixated on the cheating aspect, but that's really missing the point. The real challenge and the real opportunity here is that this technology is forcing us to redefine the entire purpose of education. Which leaves us with this one final massive question. If a machine can give us all the answers, then what's the point of asking questions in the first place? And suddenly, you realize the most important skills might not be about memorizing information anymore. Maybe it's about curiosity, about critical thinking, and about the uniquely human ability to ask a really good question. That right there is both the challenge and the incredible opportunity of our time.